Hey there! Thanks for watching my channel. I value all of your opinions and comments. Where in the world are you watching today? Share your thoughts below. Now let's start the story for today. There's something unforgettable about the moment the person you love the most casually wishes you were gone. My name is Marcus. I was once a devoted husband, a steady provider, and a man who quietly built his empire behind the curtain, while my wife, Serena, focused on her corporate climb. Serena and I met when I was starting my consulting business. She was ambitious, bold, always striving for more. I admired her drive. But behind her success-hungry image was someone who began to lose sight of partnership, loyalty, and love. What she didn't know was that I wasn't just some analyst like she liked to tell people. Over the years, I had founded and grown a private software and intelligence company, now worth over $700 million. I kept things humble, on purpose. I lived like a mid-level guy with a decent salary. We had a modest home, I drove a regular car, and I never flashed my wealth. I wanted love, not a gold digger. I wanted to know who she really was when she thought I had nothing special. But over time, the woman I married changed. She became cold, distant. She stopped respecting my time, my thoughts, even my presence. And worst of all, she started comparing me to her boss, a smug executive named Brian who threw money around like candy. The red flags became too many to ignore. She began working late for no real reason. Her phone became glued to her hand. And when she started coming home smelling like a different cologne, I knew the truth. She was cheating. Still, I waited, quietly. I didn't scream. I didn't demand answers. Instead, I did what I do best. I observed, I analyzed, and I built a plan. Then one night, after a petty argument, she looked me straight in the eye and said, "Sometimes I wish you'd just disappear." And that was the moment I truly left, emotionally, but not yet physically. You see, that night, I realized she didn't deserve my presence, my loyalty, or my protection. So I set things in motion. I initiated the transfer of my company's operations offshore. I tied up personal assets quietly. I even closed shared accounts discreetly and let her believe everything was business as usual. And then one morning, while she was on a business trip with her lover, I disappeared. No note, no message, no forwarding address. I cut ties with everyone in our circle. I even changed my number. I was gone, just like she wished. For the first few months, I lived under the radar. I traveled across Europe, set up a secondary base of operations in Switzerland, and kept growing my company from behind the scenes. Every now and then, I'd hear from mutual friends who told me Serena was losing it. She had no idea where I went. She thought I'd died, joined a cult, or gone insane. I never confirmed anything. 7 years passed. In that time, I reinvented my life. I lived in quiet luxury. My company became global. I even opened scholarships for students from broken families, a silent way to heal from the emotional mess my marriage had become. Then, one day, my past caught up to me. I was invited as the guest of honor to speak at a global tech conference in New York. The moment I stepped onto the stage, wearing a sleek suit, my name appearing on the massive digital screen behind me. Marcus Delano, founder and CEO, Delano Intelligence Systems. She was in the audience. I didn't know she'd be there, but she did. Serena had been hired by a rising cybersecurity startup as a department head. They had no idea who I was. She definitely didn't. When our eyes met from across the room, I saw her face go ghost white. She looked like she'd seen a ghost. After my speech, I was swarmed by reporters and executives. She waited at the far end of the lobby, holding back tears. I could have walked away, but I didn't. She approached me. "Marcus, is it really you?" I nodded calmly. "I thought you wanted me to disappear." She broke down. Right there, in front of everyone. She told me how her life fell apart after I left. Her affair with Brian? It didn't last more than 6 months. He dumped her. She got demoted. She tried tracking me down, only to realize I'd covered every trail. And all those years she lived thinking she pushed away a quiet loser, only to learn he was a multi-millionaire mastermind. I didn't yell. I didn't gloat. I just stood there and let the truth weigh on her shoulders. She begged me to talk, to explain where I went, to give her a chance to apologize. I said nothing. The company she worked for later reached out for a collaboration with mine. I politely declined. Months passed. She sent emails, messages, even wrote me a letter, all unanswered. But one letter stood out. She said, "You were the only real thing I had, and I threw it away for a man who didn't even know my favorite coffee." I almost replied, but I didn't. I had nothing left to say, because silence had already said it all. Our story is over now. Please tell me what you think below. Thanks for your time. Please follow this channel if you like this story.